हसरत है हमारी बाबा, कर दो वो पूरी आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
बाप दादा तो बच्चों की न देखते हुए भी बच्चों के हार समय की रिजल्ट नैनों के सामने नहीं, लेकिन दिल में आई जाती। यहाँ साकार वतन में आप हिलते हो थोड़ा थोड़ा या बहुत, और बाप को वहाँ वतन में अनुभव होता है कि कोई हिल रहा है। इसीलिए जैसे शांति वन की खुशी है, हाल की खुशी है, ऐसे बाप दादा और इतने बड़े संगठन के बीच ये वायदा करो कि इस वर्ष में हलचल से परे हो, अचल अडोल बनना ही है, बनेंगे नहीं, बनना ही है। ऐसे है, ऐसे जो समझते हैं बनना ही है, सोचेंगे, करेंगे, देखेंगे, ये नहीं वो हाथ उठाओ देखे, पर हाथ उठाओ बहुत है। अच्छा अच्छा, मुबारक हो। और जिन्होंने नहीं उठाया किसी भी कारण से, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि नहीं बनेंगे, लेकिन कोई कारण से नहीं उठाया हो तो वो उठाओ। अच्छा, शर्म आता है उठाने में तो सोचो, जब हाथ उठाने में शर्म आता है तो करने के टाइम भी शर्म करना, सोचना ये शर्म करने की बात है तो नहीं हो, पक्के हो जाए। क्यों कई बच्चे बार बार पूछते हैं, चाहे निमित्त बच्चों से या रोहनियान में बाप दादा से एक ही क्वेश्चन करते हैं, बाबा डेट बताओ, विनाश की डेट बता दो, है ना क्वेश्चन, है सबका क्वेश्चन। अच्छा, बाप दादा कहती है, डेट बता देती है, चलो 2000 में पूरा होगा, क्या करेंगे? मैंने पूरी बात सुनो, मिसअंडरस्टैंड नहीं करना। बाप दादा कहती है समझो, ये पक्का नहीं डेट दे रही है तुम 2000 तक। बाप दादा पूछ रही है कि 2000 तक आपको बताती है, क्या करेंगे? अलग बेले बनेंगे या दीवार पुरुषार्थी बनेंगे? क्या बनेंगे? दीवार पुरुषार्थी बनेंगे। अच्छा, और बाप दादा कहती है इस वर्ष में हलचल होगी, फिर क्या करें?
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों
Om Shanti. Give blessings and receive blessings. Every action according to God's directions. Because every action the obedient children perform is according to the directions they have been given, those actions are elevated. Therefore, none of their actions would cause a disturbance in their mind or intellect. They would never have to think about whether something they do is right or not, because they do everything correctly according to the directions they are given and don't do anything under any influence of their karmic bondage. They remain constantly light because they perform every action according to the directions they are given. They experience God's blessings and constantly feel willpower inside them and are totally fulfilled with super sensuous joy. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 29. Give blessings and receive blessings. Today's topic, every action according to the God's directions. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone is okay? Yes, keeping well. Good, happy, light. Mhm. But we have to experience all attainments at the confluence age. To waste time, to take sorrow, get lost into little things is not use of time of confluence age. Confluence age is the time for efforts, but also time for fruition. Because what you experience at confluence age, even deities will not have that experience. Our joy which comes from the activities which we do, service which we do, deities won't have that experience. Sometimes I wonder, we are so busy, what deities must be doing there? So it's a very beautiful time of confluence age. And is there anyone of you find it difficult to be obedient? And obedience is not just doing. Obedience is very subtle. The relationship where there is obedience is of good quality. So what you're enjoying is not what you're doing, but what you are obeying. That deep satisfaction, contentment within. I did it because Baba asked me to do. So I was trusty and I was able to do it. One thing we should remember, that if Baba is asking, it will get done. Even whatever obstacles are there, it will be done because Baba's direction. So he makes it happen. We are just the instruments. It's Baba who makes things happen. So today is from every action according to God's direction. Direction generally are seen more as external. But if there are subtle directions, and in every action, there is a subtle direction. Sometimes we understand, sometimes not. And also because the human life is always about karma philosophy. So Baba is asking me to do something. There definitely must be is significance. Either Baba is helping me to settle or helping me to create elevated fortune. Sometimes certain actions are done and through which settling happens. But there is no loss in settling. There is still something elevated because the way you settled, did I settle while suffering or did I settle with Baba's remembrance? So everyone has different way to settle. Because if it's suffering, it will be visible on the face. But if it's joyful settling, I'm very happy that I'm settling. So your face will be full of contentment and very joyful. That's why today Baba said our state should be cheerful, unshakable, immovable. In golden age, of course, whatever our fruition is, we will be stable. But to be stable at confluence age is something which is very elevated, very important. So Baba is saying that, therefore, none of their actions would cause disturbance in their mind or intellect. After doing before that, after doing action, before doing action, if there is turbulence, disturbance in mind or intellect, then you should just become neutral. Don't do any action for a while. And when your mind is clear, then you can decide what you want to do. So we have to use this, that they could, Baba says, never have to think about whether something they do is right or wrong. Sometimes it comes, is it my thought? Is it Baba's shrimat? That is a lot of conflict in the minds of many. Am I following shrimat? Or is it my mind is saying? See, mind has desires. And when there are desires, there are a lot of thoughts. There is a lot of thoughts about reward and if it fulfills, what will happen. But when it's Baba's shrimat, it's like a fruit. It's not the seed. And when you have fruit, you see in front of you. And you know that there are seeds in the fruit also. So as there are fruits in the seed, same as there are seeds in the fruit. Those who are able to see both aspects, Baba said they will enjoy. So Baba says that because they do everything directly according to the direction they are given. You do not say anything under any influence at their karmic bond, according to their karmic bondage. They perform even action according to directions. Why Baba saying? Because it could be my own sanskars that I follow direction or give directions. It's not shrimat. And we have seen many, many times you're doing certain things because of the influence. You like someone's sanskar, you get along well. So getting along well doesn't mean you follow direction of other person. Actually, when there is agreement, there is liking, we have to be more careful. In the sense that I am not influenced by anyone. So influence could be positive, but also negative. I know a lot of people, if they like someone, they keep following that person. I immediately say, but you have to follow Baba. They even ready to do what they have to do for yagya, but under influence, which is good in a way until nothing wrong happens. So that's what Baba is saying. God's if they are not following directions, they are given, they experience God's blessings and constantly feel their willpower and constantly feel still power inside, and then totally filled with super sensitive joy. It's very, very subtle, right? What our attainments are: super sensitive joy, willpower, inner power. These are the attainments of doing actions based on right directions. That means you could start following directions of the soul you are influenced by. It happens in everyone's life. Certain duration you find you were doing because this one said, and you like that one. But if same things are told by a person you do not really favor, we find it very difficult. So influence of our own karmic bondage, we have to be very careful. That is why we keep reminding ourselves Baba's directions are elevated directions. It's no influence of anyone. So what I notice is happening. Sometimes we see you like a person or that person respects you. Sometimes people praise you and you start following their direction. But Baba's direction is Baba's direction. It's not any human being's direction. So many say, how do I know? There are attainments if you do according to Baba's directions. And Baba is talking about lightness, willpower, super sense of joy, fullness. You will never say you are lacking something. There will always be experience of fullness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Good evening.
Good
Om
evening.
Shanti Vyakti Parivar.
You are back.
I am back.
Very
Cold here. Not as cold as New York, but a little cold.
little cold is good. Yeah.
Right. I loved what you were sharing about when is it Manmat and when is it shrimat. When is it my own dictates and when is it Baba Shrimat? And what you were saying is if there are lots of desires, lots of thoughts, then it is Manmat. Could you expand a little bit more? I thought that was very nice. Like how many times, I noticed this with people like they even like simple shrimat, like let's say Murli or something, they will say, oh, Baba says if you can't come to the center, you can listen at home, or if you can't sit properly, you can lay down. Baba says that. And so they just lay down and listen to the Murli, or do other things and listen to the Murli. And but Baba, they don't realize that Baba is saying it for people who are really sick. Then you can lay down and listen to the Murli, or do other things and listen to the Murli.
Yeah, because I went to a work center in other country and they almost lie down while listening to Murli, and I was wondering, they have pillow at the back and the way they were stretching their legs. I didn't feel comfortable because I've never seen people listening Murli. And they all were sitting in all the corners and whole the center was empty in the middle. So I said, why can't you all sit properly? Say, but Baba said you can sit, you can lie down while listening to it. So there are definitely some people, they are doing it for their comfort, not because Baba said you cannot sit, right? And
Right.
then it becomes habit. You know, like people these days, they study, they lie down and read books, or so they start doing morely like that too. But I feel that sitting straight properly as a student helps you to understand Murli properly. So Murli is just not listening. Murli is not just reading, right? Murli really has to be absorbed properly.
Right.
So some people call it shrimat, but they do it for their own comfort. Right? So then they're not good example also. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are following shrimat, if you read Murli properly, you could inspire others. Right?
Mm.
They can see that how you are benefiting. But if you do according to Manmat, then others won't be inspired. You won't be really a good example for them. Plus, you won't see you are progressing. If you're doing actions according to Shrimat, you will progress more and more. But if you're not seeing progress, but more carelessness, more sluggish, and not even feeling very active, so definitely is Manmat to me.
Mm. How would we know, Didi, that we are not progressing? Sometimes I feel, that all of these mountains, mountain of desires, like you were sharing, mountain of name, fame. And if you keep climbing any of those mountains, you're progressing on the mountain, but you are not really progressing. And so, let's say if I want credit for something I did and people keep giving me credit and I feel good, then I feel I'm progressing, but it's really not real progress. It is this, it's just progress. I'm progressing on the wrong mountain, doing something else. It's not Baba's mountain of no desires, Baba's mountain of sitting on Baba's heart throne. And so I really wonder, when Didi comes back, if she could share on how do we know we are progressing on the right path? Because we could be progressing on the wrong path.
One thing we have to be very careful when we are praised about something, because we keep taking praise and could become careless. Mentioning to some people, when you all praise, I feel so bored and I feel why they have to keep saying this. They say, but this is what we feel. And because I necessarily don't enjoy, like some people like it, but I take it more like after that, I think about it, I analyze, I try to see, okay, even if I am progressing, or people what they see I am, but what is next, what I have to do. So I rather come out of that and I feel very comfortable. And then I think about, I churn and, I feel more natural when I am not praised or seen as a very superstar or something. As I said, I want to feel very natural and be part of everyone, and not that I am separate, I am super. And
Right.
I think we all are Baba's children, and we enjoy each other's speciality and look at each other's examples, and that I feel much better. But some people like it very much when they are praised, They
Right.
feel elevated, but I don't know why I don't feel it.
Yeah, I feel very uncomfortable too. It's like, I just feel like normal. It's like, why are you doing this?
Like when we go to Madhuban, and when Jayanti and myself, we were given assignment, we told brothers and sisters there, no celebration for us. And until now, they keep asking, are you all ready for your celebration? They're not yet. We are not ready. We are okay without that, But some people, they go there and say, but nobody has celebrated. My name was announced. What about my garland, my crown, So it depends. Some people like it and some don't. At least I don't like all that.
Practically speaking, they feel very uncomfortable, the garland and the crown, like itchy, all of that stuff. It feels very uncomfortable. Uh, One thing I wanted to ask you is, how is it in nowadays? How is it that we are camouflaging Manmat and saying it's shrimat? What are you noticing among the Brahmin family? How are we saying Manmat is shrimat?
Hmm. If you can give me example, then I can answer that. Like what?
One of the things that I was noticing is this the Murli, yes, but also many times about effort, like just coming to the center, connecting with the center, connecting with an instrument, taking the right sustenance. So I feel that too many people are listening to too many things on YouTube and thinking, oh, we are making effort just by listening to things on YouTube.
Yeah, someone said to me, I listen all day. So I said, what you listen? Every class, everything. I said, when do you churn then? What is the time you contemplate and be in silence, It is very, very important that whatever we are listening, we should know what is important and then churn on that. And after churning, you implement in your practical life. Otherwise, you will feel, oh, I know, I know. Knowing is a lot of ego. I know this, I know this. But what about practical, If you are not able to do practical, let's say Baba says, have power of silence. So I don't have to listen, right? I have to be in silence. Increase your power to churn. When does that happen? So it is good to listen, but also you should have time. How much I listen. Also, there are certain things like I really won't like to listen is when people announce the prophecies. This is going to happen in this year. Destruction is going to happen this year. If you do this, this will happen. If you drink water, charge one, this will happen. If you do this, money will come. Baba never promises us all that externally, right? Baba says, remember me, your sins will be destroyed. But just to keep promising, make prophecies, definitely people like it because they feel something is being promised to them. But I don't think that is shrimat.
Right.
Whatever Baba doesn't talk about much, why should we, right?
Right, right,
announcing the dates, announcing the year, announcing the future. That's not what we should do. Right?
right. And what you were sharing, Didi, about, like, let's say water, right? Like, oh, you should give drishti and put water and 10 minutes and 15 minutes have yoga. I'm sure it's beneficial, but Baba never said that in Sakar Murli. This is how you should do it. Like, and then they make, like, they judge you so much for not doing it.
Mm.
Um,
I think it's not water has to be charged, but my body should also be in, like if I'm in Baba's remembrance, the water will be charged automatically, right? But
right,
these days when we go to Madhuban, so many bottles outside Baba's room. So one time I say, why are these bottles? I forgot. Say they keep it in this room, Baba's. They will charge these and then they will drink. It looks like, little bit of bhakti, that you're doing it. And so new things are coming up. You have to think what you want to do. But during Brahma Baba's time, whatever we drank or ate, first we will remember Baba and then we will drink it. Instead of already ready-made charged water, rather we remember Baba while drinking, before drinking, so that water is charged with satogun or love or whatever.
Another way I feel, Didi, that we are Manmat is a lot is the way we listen to the Murli. Like, even before Murli happens here, because it happens in many places in India, some people will listen in Madhuban and some people will listen in Pandabhavan, Gyansarovar, Shantivan, some people will listen with Asha Didi. I feel that we shouldn't listen to that the Murli, there has to be certain maryadas around the Murli, that in the morning, when you're listening to the Murli, that we have to be a good student. If you've already listened to the Murli and then come into class, I feel that there is a slight arrogance, or I've heard this already before. What would you say to that?
Yeah, and also while listening, I heard this morning, I already read, so you're not listening carefully. So I will rather listen properly, every word, and at that time, according to my stage, I should take that. It will be easy for me later on to churn and then to practice also. Because that is the whole aim, is to do the dharana of the Murli, right?
Right.
So I would suggest listen to Murli, and then of course you can listen second time, third time. No, but these days people like to read before they come to class. But then that is also all right. But some are reading while they are listening. Then it becomes more disturbance, even for teacher, because nobody is looking up. Everyone is looking at Murli. So I will suggest that as a student, you come, you listen to Murli properly, full attention, looking at the teacher, not looking at the Murli. That's a lot of teachers tell me. I don't know, this is something new I have heard. Before we never used to get Murli, but now you can get Murli and you just open your iPhone and start reading Murli, looking at the Murli while listening to teacher. Even when we are talking now, we are looking at each other, right? If you
Right.
look down, I look down, and we talk, there won't be communication.
Right.
Communication only happen when two people look at each other and talk. That becomes real communication.
Mhm.
So I will suggest that students should be proper students. It helps teacher also, right?
Right.
Otherwise, everyone is looking at the Murli. I am also looking at Murli. So there is no communication, right?
Yeah.
So these little points have to be, should be mentioned in the class too.
Didi, I was very curious about something Baba said in the Murli today. Baba was talking about the God of the Gita. He was saying that we have to prove that that's the main thing. You have to prove who the God of the Gita is. And he's given all of this knowledge so we can prove who the God of the Gita is. And several times he kept saying that. So my question to you is two things. Who are we proving this to? Who are we proving who the God of the Gita is? How many people should we prove it to, and who are we proving it to?
Yeah, that's another. But why Baba says it? Because these days, lot of people have yoga of intellect with Sri Krishna, not with Shiv Baba. So Baba says, but how will they get liberation? How will their sins be destroyed? So they need to know who is God, right? And then whose teachings are of Gita. And I know Brother Bridgman always have this determination, and he keeps arranging program from time to time. And it is surprisingly that when all these gurus and they come, they listen to the talk and they appreciate, they like it, they praise Shiva. But I don't know that they really came to the conclusion that God is the, sermonizer of Gita. So I think they are still trying in India to find out what is the best way to prove that. But whole thing Baba wants everyone's intellect with God, because there are so many.
How many people, who are we proving it to? So the gurus, we are proving it to the gurus?
No, even common people, no. Because if you want their yoga to be with Shiv Baba, they need to know. Or if they are reading Gita, they need to know who is the sermonizer, so that their intellect can be with that, So introduction of God is something very important, and that can only be proven through who is the sermonizer of Gita. Because a lot of people read Gita, right?
Yes,
So,
many people even here read Gita.
So audience is everyone, even common people, not only gurus and scholars.
So we need to prove it to all of the people who read the Gita.
Right.
So Didi, if we look at it that way, maybe, Baba talks about the mic and all of these things. Maybe the mic is really someone who proves this, who proves the God of the Gita is Shiv Baba and not Sri Krishna. Because how do you go from, like, you have to prove it to a few people, then to more people, then to more people. It can't be just suddenly 1 billion people will pick up and say the God of the Gita is Shiv Baba, incorporeal. I'm thinking about the logistics of this, how is it that we can go from only a few people believing the God of the Gita is incorporeal to 1 billion people having faith that God of the Gita is Shiv Baba.
In the end, there is possibility, 1 billion people listening and believing. There is possibility.
Yes. All right, Didi. It was always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. I hope your cough goes away soon.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
बाबा कहते हो यही बच्चे मेरे ताज तुम्ही, नैन के नूर लाडलो मेरी आवाज तुम्ही, मेरी दुनिया में तेरे दम से उजाला, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है।
तो सारा दिन आप मेरा हाथ मेरा पाँव सब कहते हो, लेकिन मैं कौन ये तो भूल गए हो। मेरे को मैं समझ लिया मैं मानव हूँ। ये एक गलती होने के कारण, अपने आप को भूलने के कारण ही ये दुख और अशांति हुई है। तो वास्तव में आपको मेडिटेशन करने के बाद मालूम होगा कि मैं कौन हूँ। वास्तव में मैं शरीर नहीं हूँ, लेकिन शरीर का भी मालिक मैं आत्मा हूँ। जैसे शरीर भी कोई छोड़ता है तो कभी कभी कहते हैं लाइट इज गॉन, तो मैं आत्मा लाइट हूँ जो बिरकुटी के बीच में निवास करती है। तो मैं आत्मा हूँ, मैं शरीर नहीं हूँ। ये छोटी सी गलती ने ये सारे संसार को दुखी और अशांत कर दिए। तो हम यही चाहते हैं कि आपको ड्रामा अनुसार ये भाग्य मिला है, तो आप ये अवश्य जान के अनुभव करके जाओ, तो मैं आत्मा परमात्मा की संतान। आत्मा परमात्मा की संतान है, शरीर नहीं है। शरीर का पिता तो अपना अलग अलग आप जानते ही हो, लेकिन परमात्मा को जो गॉड फादर कहते हैं, वो कौन, किसका पिता है? वो आत्मा का पिता है। और आत्मा के पिता को परमात्मा कह करके उनसे हम जो भी सुख शांति लेने चाहें वो ले सकते हैं। तो हमारा आप सभी भाई बहने यहाँ आए हैं, उनकी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ जो आपने चांस लिया है और समय नाजुक के पहले आप पहुँच गए हो, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और आप अवश्य मेडिटेशन का अनुभव करके दूसरों को भी मेडिटेशन का अनुभव कराएंगे, तो हमारा भारत जो स्वर्ग कहलाया जाता है, राम राज्य को याद करते हैं, वो हमारा भारत फिर से ऐसा स्वर्ग सेवन बनना ही है। लेकिन उसमें आप भी हमारे साथी बनेंगे, तो मेडिसन और मेडिटेशन दोनों ही मिल जाएंगे। तो पक्का है कि भारत को हम वो ही बना देंगे जैसे हमारे बापू गांधी जी का भी स्वप्न था कि राम राज्य हो, लेकिन हो क्या गया वो तो आप खुद ही जानते हो। लेकिन अभी हम हिम्मत रखें सभी साथी बन करके, इस भारत को हमको राम राज अर्थात हेवन जरूर बनाना है। हम तो बचपन से इसी संकल्प से चल रहे हैं। और हम जब छोटे थे और बच्चों के रूप में आए थे, तो हमको कहते थे कि आप थोड़े से बच्चे और आप ठेका उठाते हैं कि भारत को स्वर्ग बनाएंगे, ये कैसे हो सकता है? क्योंकि हमने तो इंडिया का ही नक्शा देखा था, वो बड़ा नक्शा तो देखा ही नहीं था। तो वो कहते थे, हमारे ही संबंधी भी हमको कहते थे, तो आपको ऐसे ही कहा गया है, ये हो ही नहीं सकता है। तो हमने उन्होंने प्रश्न किया, हमने कहा आप महाभारत को जानते हो? कहते हैं हाँ, महाभारत तो हमारा बहुत बड़ा शास्त्र है। तो हमने उनसे पूछा कि महाभारत में जो कहानी बताते हैं उसमें 5 पांडवों ने जीता था और हम तो 1000 के करीब बचे हैं। तो आप सोचो जब 5 पांडवों ने जीत लिया तो हम 1000 बच्चों के लिए तो और भी दुनिया चाहिए। तो वो चुपचाप कैसे कहे, तो महाभारत रांग है। सभी भारतवासियों को शास्त्रों में तो भावना है ना, तो वो चुपचाप कहने लगा, आप जानो, आपका काम जाने, हम तो यही कहेंगे कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं। हमने कहा हम परमात्मा के साथी बन करके आपको दिखाएंगे जो बापू गांधी जी का सपना था, वो हम बच्चे पूरा करके दिखाएंगे कि ये भारत देखो कैसे स्वर्ग हेवन बना है। तो आप भी हमारे साथी बने हो, हमको खुशी है कि आप भी हमारे इतने। और हमको याद आता है शिव बाबा से डॉक्टर मिले थे, तो शिव बाबा ने उन्हों को कहा कि आप डॉक्टर तो शरीर के हो, लेकिन अभी डबल डॉक्टर बनो। क्यों? कि जानते हैं कि शरीर की बीमारियां वगैरह का भी मन से कनेक्शन है। तो तन के डॉक्टर तो हो, लेकिन मन के डॉक्टर भी बन जाएंगे तो डबल डॉक्टर बनेंगे। तो बोलो डॉक्टर जी, जो भी डॉक्टर्स आए हैं डबल डॉक्टर बनेंगे, हाथ उठाओ। हाँ, वाह, अगर इतने डबल डॉक्टर बन गए फिर तो स्वर्ग आया कि आया। तो हमको भी निश्चय है, आप भी जानते हैं कि हमें ये शुभ कार्य करना ही है। ओम शांति।
निराली शान है, दिल तख्त पर हमें रख लिया, खुद से ऊंचा मान देकर नाम दिल पर लिख लिया। ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, जिंदगी जीने की हमको एक नई तदबीर दी, आपने बाबा हमें।
Om Shanti Vyakti Parivar. So tomorrow is a very special day. It's Baptada's day. So morning we will have transmission. It's a Thursday also. So transmission will start at 8:30. So anybody who would like to connect through Vyakti Parivar, you're welcome to join the Zoom, or you can join through YouTube channel. So that's the tomorrow, and our other schedule will remain same from Mridula 3:30 AM to 4:45 AM. 8:30 Baptada's Milan, evening 5 to 6 Sakar Murli, and meditation, Bhog offering, Hindi Murli, Hindi series, English series, and Avyakti Journey. Welcome to Avyakti Journey. Avek Murlis from 1969, multi-million fold fortune and blessings.
Om Shanti. This is the Murli of the 2nd of April, 1972. How to become praiseworthy. In order to constantly remain beyond, what two things are essential? At the present time, each one of you is making effort number-wise in order to remain in the stage beyond. What are those two essential things through which you can easily stabilize yourself in the stage beyond? There is remembrance anyway, but what are the two aspects even within that? Tell Baba of the two things in 2 words. Now, you have to bring the expansion of knowledge into its essence. Can the Shaktis easily put the expansion into its essence? Relate this from your own experience. The stage of remaining beyond and the stage of being a detached observer are one and the same thing. For that, the two things you have to pay attention to are, firstly, I, the soul, am an elevated soul. And secondly, I, the soul, am at present a guest in this old world and this old body. By keeping in your awareness the aspects of being elevated and being a guest, you will naturally and easily go beyond. And the attraction that develops because of weaknesses and attachments finishes. Whatever ordinary thoughts and ordinary actions you have because of the influence of old sanskars will all be transformed by considering yourself to be an elevated soul. By having an elevated awareness, your sanskars, thoughts, words, and actions all change. Therefore, by constantly moving along, considering yourself to be elevated and a guest, you will become praiseworthy at the present, in the future, and also on the path of bhakti. If you do not consider yourself to be elevated and a guest, you cannot become praiseworthy. Praise is not sung just on the path of bhakti, but throughout the entire kalpa, you become praiseworthy in one way or another. Those who are elevated in the golden age, that is, those who become the world emperor or world empress, become worthy of praise by the subjects. On the path of bhakti, you become praiseworthy in the form of deities. And at the confluence age, when you demonstrate how you perform an elevated task, you become worthy of praise by the Brahmin family and all the other souls too. So simply by considering yourself to be a soul who's elevated and a guest at this time, you can make yourself praiseworthy throughout the entire kalpa. Check your every action and thought as to whether they are elevated. That is, whether you're performing them considering yourself to be a guest or whether you're simply carrying out your task, then attachment will finish. You're not a guest just in this world, but you are also a guest in the building of this body. Acha, we will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti.
Give blessings and receive blessings. Every action according to God's directions. Because every action that obedient children perform is according to the directions they have been given, those actions are elevated. Therefore, none of their actions would cause a disturbance in their mind or intellect. They would never have to think about whether something they do is right or not. Because they do everything correctly according to the directions they are given, and don't do anything under any influence of their karmic bondage, they remain constantly light. Because they perform every action according to the directions they are given, they experience God's blessings and constantly feel willpower inside them and are totally fulfilled with super sensuous joy.
दुआएं दो और दुआएं लो। हर कर्म परमात्म आज्ञा प्रमाण। आज्ञाकारी बच्चों का हर कर्म आज्ञा प्रमाण होने के कारण श्रेष्ठ होता है। इसलिए कोई भी कर्म बुद्धि व मन को विचलित नहीं करता। ठीक किया व नहीं किया, यह संकल्प भी नहीं आ सकता। वे आज्ञा प्रमाण चलने के कारण सदा हल्के रहते हैं। हर कर्म आज्ञा प्रमाण करने के कारण परमात्म आशीर्वाद की प्राप्ति के फल स्वरूप सदा ही आंतरिक विल पावर का, अतीन्द्रिय सुख का और भरपूरता का अनुभव करते हैं। ओम शांति।
ओ बाबा तुम्हारे मिलन की लगन ये नजारा वो रह रह के दिखला रही है। ओ बाबा तुम्हारे मिलन की लगन ये नजारा वो रह रह के दिखला रही है। वही प्यार है पालना भी वही है, तो भी याद साकार की आ रही है। ओ बाबा तुम्हारे मिलन की लगन ये कई बार बाबा को जैसे है देखा, ये वो भी है कहता जो आया नया है। कई बार बाबा को जैसे है देखा, ये वो भी है कहता जो आया नया है। बिना डोर के सबके मन को है बांधा, ये जादू नहीं तो भला और क्या है। यही मेरा बाबा, यही मेरा बाबा, यही मेरा बाबा, यही मेरा बाबा। ये धुन पत्थरों को भी पिघला रही है। ओ बाबा